It
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it will get better in the near future. It
Yeah.
seems like, there's turmoil in the economy everywhere. I still think we haven't felt much of it yet, right? Like we all see that it's got to get worse first, right?
They got the panels. They used to do a ring, and now they do a
Oh, the panels. Yeah. Aiden's
rectangle.
got those. I have those
Yeah.
down in my downstairs setup that I
Yeah.
never use, but
There we
I
go.
have.
That's Hey,
Those
we're
are
saving it
those are
for a
pretty
rainy
cool.
day. We're
One
saving it for a
day.
rainy day. You never know when something could happen. There could be some sort of invasion where, the podcast studio is not available and we got to go to
It's
plan
the
B.
bunker studio.
We got a plan B, guys. Okay. We
We got a
will
plan B.
record this podcast weekly, no matter what. All right. Like the U.S. Postal Service. Okay. Mail's getting delivered. Canadian Postal Service, we can't say that because they could be on strike. And they're just like, listen, guys, we can't do it for the next couple of weeks. We got to renegotiate our terms, but, we'll get back to you. We'll get your mail to you when we're ready to deliver the mail. All right. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Very, very efficient, and you can rely on them. It's weird. I feel like every time I log into my bank account, it still says that there's something going on with the mail. Is there I thought that was over like a
It's just
year
like a
ago.
general warning now. It's just like, listen, man, we're going to send
It
you
could
stuff,
be
but
a
there's no
strike.
guarantees you're going to get it.
It's weird because I feel like there's like 8 different delivery services at my door daily. Like, what do we? I don't understand the
I just
mail.
check my door now. I don't even I don't know what's coming, when's coming, if the ring doorbell told me or not. I just open my door randomly and I just find things there now. It's just kind of like, because you go in and out your front door. I have two doors, so I don't go out in and out my front door as often as I do
Yeah.
the garage.
Okay.
So the front door I have to open because I'm not going in. So I just randomly open it and say, "Oh,
Somebody's there.
what's that? I don't know what
Huh.
that is." No, not someone, but
Oh,
they would ring the doorbell. But I'm saying the packages are there. That might have
I
been dropped off while I was out or something.
I like know a bunch of the UPS and Purelator guys now. It's like the same guys are here pretty friggin' regular. It's pretty
Yeah,
nuts. It's like,
yeah,
oh, hey, how's it going? I
yeah,
recognize you. This is
yeah.
not good.
I got
This
a
is
problem.
this is
Someone in
not
my
good,
house has a problem.
right?
Say no more.
And because it's all under my accounts, it
Yeah,
always says that it's coming from me. So I don't know until I open it. I don't know who the
yeah.
hell ordered something and what the hell might be in the box.
You can change that. You can change the address.
Well, you can
So
change
when
the
other people are
address.
ordering it, it's in your account, but the delivery address will be the same address but a different name.
Yeah, well, nobody's got
That's
time for
too, yeah,
that,
that's,
PK.
come on.
Let's get
That's too
real
much
here.
organizing.
That
Yeah,
sounds crazy.
I
Yeah.
know. That's all
Everybody
good.
just links it to dad's credit card and away we go.
What's the deal? What's the deal right now with you this week or the last week? You've been busy doing stuff, obviously.
I have been busy. I don't know if I'm putting out fires or causing fires and then putting them out. Maybe I'm kind of like the government now. I don't
That's
know. But
that's
there's
a good way for
definitely,
people to need you.
there's definitely fires that needed to be snuffed out, and they
Hmm.
were. But listen, there's so many moving parts in development right now in Toronto. It's crazy. It is like
Hmm.
I can't even imagine what some of these guys are going through right now. And I can imagine what other guys are going through right now.
Yep.
And it's like, holy mackerel. Like even just like what you and I were talking about all week. It's like
Yeah.
that's not the greatest situation in the world. That's for certain, right?
Sure, but he's actually okay compared to
He's
some of the guys.
right. And to
Yeah.
that, so like some of the guys,
Yeah.
and like some of the guys have been in trouble for a while, and they've been just trying to figure it out for a couple. Like you realize it's holy Jesus, it's been 4 years since this thing started going in the opposite direction, right? It's coming up on 4 years, like in a month, right?
Yeah.
That's that's a long time, right? And
Yeah.
not nobody. I mean, all the geniuses in our comment section knew that this was going to be the
We
outcome,
should have listened to the
right?
comment section.
Of
Who would
course
have
we
thought?
should have.
Although they didn't start saying those things until the market was already going down.
Well, there are people in the comment section saying the exact opposite as well, for the record, right? They don't get the same kind of notoriety as the others. But realistically, this thing has been a long, like a long drawn out ride. It
Yeah,
doesn't seem like it will get better in the near future. It
yeah.
seems like, there's turmoil in the economy everywhere. Meanwhile, I still think we haven't felt much of it yet, right? Like we all see that it's got to get worse first, right?
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I'm double subscribed. Do it yourself. Didn't get to fix the show though. Didn't get to fix the show.
It's
And
just
it's
slow. It's just slowly getting worse,
well, and
and
it's
that people are like, "Well, when is it gonna not get any more worse?" And everyone's just kind of like, "Oh, I think it's this date and that date, and it's here and it's there." And
well, it's
everybody I talk to
confusing.
always seems to be telling me next year is gonna be better. That's kind of the general sentiment. Now, depending on what product type and market conditions you're talking about,
Where
next year, right, in pre-construction sales
we're gonna
won't
have
be better.
zero, we'll have zero sales. Well, hopefully, we'll have at least 8 or 9, right,
Okay,
from
it might be a
Thelma.
little
But
bit
like,
better. But
it's gonna be
what I'm
pretty
trying to
bad,
say is like that market doesn't come back the same way, right? So that Bank of Canada report that was released for them to basically summarize all the stuff that everybody already knows and that we've
right?
been talking about for years, but
Yeah,
it's just nice for the Bank of Canada to put it on a PDF and to be able to send it out
it's
so that
kind of
way anybody who
scary,
has been living under a rock for the last few years can now actually understand what was going on. And it's basically outlining the problem. The problem was that people were making hand over fist a return on real estate more than what they were in any other investment vehicle. So they could go and buy a pre-construction $1 million condo with $200,000 down payment, flip it for 1.4 later on, triple their money, and say, "Hey, now I got $600,000," assuming there's no fees and all that. But just for example, on an assignment, without paying any tax because they weren't even taxing it at one point. It was all just happening behind closed doors, right? So
I
of
don't think it
course,
wasn't being taxed. I
no, it
think
wasn't
people
getting
were
taxed in the
not.
beginning, Daryl.
Well, no,
In the beginning, it was taxed. It was unrecorded, and there was no
ah,
way for the CRA to know. So what happened was is
unrecorded.
the government said to developers, "We want to know every purchaser who ever signed an agreement to purchase and sale with you, so that we can start tracking them." And that happened. I don't know the year, but it happened before everything started to go down.
No, but
My best guess would be like 2018 or 19. I don't know, something like that.
technically, though, they're
Yeah.
supposed to report that income themselves on their
But
taxes,
nobody was
TK.
because you didn't have to.
Of
It was
course
just being
not.
traded at the lawyer's office. You'd get the cash, and everyone was just like, "We don't know nothing about that. You never," because they would say, and maybe Daryl, this is I don't know all the tax laws, but maybe because they never actually owned the asset, it was tax free. I don't know. Doesn't matter. They weren't paying tax. Okay,
Well, I think
so
it does matter, and they were supposed to, but they weren't.
okay, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter because I don't understand the tax law enough to tell you whether it was or wasn't. But regardless, was people weren't paying tax on it. So why would you not do that? You would be an idiot to not go into pre-construction real estate in 2015, knowing that you could make those returns because
Yeah.
there weren't any better returns out there other than Bitcoin.
Uh, no, I mean, but you also had to be an idiot to do it.
Well, you had to be not looking forward. You had to be basically saying,
There's no
there's no
chance,
risk, and
right?
that I'm
No
going to make
risk.
money no matter what. So the
Yeah.
guys who made the money and got out, what did they do? They all went and bought again the same thing, and now they're losing all the money that
Well,
they
that's what,
that
yeah.
they
I
put
mean,
in, right?
unless
Yeah.
they were smart enough to like know the right time to not put the chips back in. But those kind of
It was as
guys,
soon as the price was higher than resale.
well, yeah, logically looking at it 4 years later, sure. But
Yeah.
in that mania, in that frenzy, when you're driving your Lambo and you haven't worked in 5 years because all you're doing is flipping these pieces of paper with
Yeah.
your buddy, right, Raheem, who keeps saying, "Hey, I got the next one. I got the next one.
VIP
Don't worry, we're going to
worksheet,
get you out of
worksheet,
it. Yeah,
worksheet.
we're going to get you out. We're going to find a tenant. It's going to be beautiful. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat." But like that guy, I mean, had gigantic balls or was like really a horrible investor. He's just a big gambler. This is the
He's a
whole thing,
gambler. He's a
right? And
gambler.
I think what that document did, yes, it brought it to light for the layman, right? Who hasn't been talking about it for a long time. But I think that's a scary goddamn document to have out there, because when the Bank of Canada basically acknowledges that the economy is based on a Ponzi scheme, um, how do you recover from that? How do you get investment from outside of the country to be wanting to be part of that now?
But maybe that system needs to be broken and rebuilt. And I don't know. There's plenty of places in the world where they've figured out how to build
It's
housing.
happening.
And so, I mean, I don't have all the ideas in the world, but I know the banking system probably benefits greatly from having those protections. So maybe they should take on some of the risk, right?
Well, yeah, the banks taking on some risk would be a good idea,
Do you know
right?
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
maybe they should take on a little bit more risk in these type of situations, because they were basically saying we don't want to take on any risk, and it was safe for the banking system, but obviously it was passed down to the retail investors. And so the report summarizes that type of buying process, and then it says, well, as prices went up, what happened to the units?
But that's the real problem, actually, in a nutshell, is that at the end of the day, the people that are supposed to be underwriting the risk, there's no repercussions for them. They get bailed out if they start losing money on this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, or it's insured or some fucking scam so that the banks don't lose money. When at the end of the day, they should actually be underwriting the loan and go, you know what? If this guy loses his fucking job, and he's unemployed for 6 months, or the economy changes, or interest rates go up by 2% or whatever the fuck, this
Mm.
guy's a fucking goner. We cannot lend him the money. But they didn't do that. They had guys going like, can you get me a bill that says, you're paying this much a month instead of this? And can you get me a pay stub that says you earn
Can you
this?
can you pay $2,800 a month for the next 25 years? Yeah? All right, let's do it. I got a blanket mortgage situation on a condo unit downtown. No, midtown. Paid around $1 million. It's worth like 750, and that the blanket mortgage is going to give them 80% loan to value on their, $1 million purchase price. So they're going to be in at a $800,000 roughly mortgage on a property that probably would sell for about 750.
Hmm.
So that's like what the builders offering them right now. And so when they have those, that Bank of Canada puts out that report, eventually you have to say to yourself, when is the banking system going to change, and that they're going to be actually the ones taking on the responsibility? It might be harder to produce housing. I don't know. Maybe the government's got to get involved. Maybe there's got to be some sort of government program that allows more protections for the banks so they feel like that should be done. But I mean, this isn't working, Darryl. Agreed or not?
I agree that
Agree a
it's
bunch of
not
investors
working.
buying units that need to be smaller, because when the investor goes into the sales center and he sees a sheet of paper, he looks at the bottom of the sheet to see which one's the cheapest, and he doesn't realize that it says 275 square feet,
Doesn't care.
right?
Doesn't care because he's
Yeah.
flipping a piece of paper because somebody told him he's going to make 30 or 100% on his money in
Yeah.
3 years, right?
Yeah.
But so the system is clearly broken, but we end up always back in the same goddamn place. Is the incentives don't align with fixing this thing, right? Not for the people making all the money, the banks, right? At the end of the day, if the system could work if the banks did their jobs and had repercussions, because they would just do their jobs better. They would take
Ex-
safer
explain
bets.
explain to me. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so you go to a bank and you want to
Yeah.
take out a mortgage, and there's somebody there that's supposed to analyze the situation. Okay.
Okay.
And their job is to analyze whether or not you can afford this house. And
Okay.
clearly the metrics are uh, not well, they're not well formed for everybody or for certain situations. So, like, let's
Okay.
say,
Even though
for
we have one
example,
of the most strict lending policies in the world as far as being able to get a mortgage.
yeah, maybe they're not strict enough,
Okay.
actually, right? I
Okay.
don't know, but I mean,
We got a stress
clearly
test. We've got, GDS ratios. Like there's already a lot of stuff in place for
there's
people to get a
definitely,
mortgage.
yeah, but there's also stuff in place that allows people that can't really afford these things to get mortgages, right? There's people that, they could lose their job in 3 months and all of a sudden they've got this new mortgage. And it could have been like a phone call to the employer saying, oh, you know what, like, don't hire him. We're about to let him go. It's not a good idea for him to take on this loan. I don't fucking know. All
But I'm
I'm
just saying,
saying.
see how it's not that easy,
No,
right?
but
So
but this is the whole thing. So the
yeah,
other day, I'm walking the dog, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? Somebody, there has to be somebody that
yeah,
isn't tied to the value of the transaction or the transaction happening, or is incentivized in some other way to protect the consumer who's dumb and uneducated and shouldn't know all the stuff about real estate, quite honestly.
yeah.
Somebody that they can trust. And then it's like, oh, but there's a realtor and they're getting paid all this money to do that job, but they don't
And there's a
do that
lawyer who
job.
gets paid 200
And there's an
bucks.
appraiser and there's a this, and then
But the
there's the
lawyer's
guy at the
200 bucks.
bank.
He doesn't care.
No, but at
It's
the
like,
end of the day, if
yeah,
there's somebody at the bank who has a repercussion for giving out that fucking bad loan, okay, and the bank is not bank stopped by the government, they have to actually give out loans that they're going to see back one day.
yeah,
That's a different system. And I don't know what it looks like. I see that
yeah.
we
It's
put all
not
these,
possible. Yeah,
it's
it's
not
not possible.
possible.
No,
Well, so I
it's not
mean,
possible
it
because it just
seems that nothing is possible and that we're just going to like run this course
no.
forever.
I think the lender side is fine. I don't think that there's much broken on our lending side, to be honest with you. I
It's
think
the
it's the
borrower side.
it's the pre-construction side of things that was
Oh.
the broken system. That's what we're talking about is
Well,
how those buildings get built, which is I need to sell 70% in order to be able to get my construction financing.
well, that's broken, and that's
Yes.
clearly
And
broken,
so
and
the incentive
it's
is to not get
not
a
built.
bunch of quality stuff built or have even the people close on the things. It's just a get the 70% any way you can so I can build it and I'll figure it out afterwards. And when the market went up, it worked out for them. But now the
Well,
market's gone down and it's not working out so well.
so, but that, okay, so the pre-construction side is part of it, but like you sent me an article and I saw that article a couple days
Yeah.
ago where some fucking moron in Brampton lost $760,000, and
Yeah.
that wasn't pre-construction. That's like fucking crazyville that it even got to 1.9.
Okay. But I sent you the comps in
Yeah,
2022.
right.
There was a lot of other people who bought at that same price. And I sent you the comps today.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who bought it at today's price. I mean, that was the market.
So there's all these people that have houses out there that they
Yeah.
paid double for, basically what
They
it's
paid a
worth
lot more
right
money
now,
for it. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when do those end up being a problem for somebody, right? Because if you paid 2.2 million,
Maybe not if they kept that job that the bank underwrited very well, made sure
yeah.
that they had stable income and enough deposit and met their GDS, TDS ratios and everything else. Maybe never. Maybe they'll just pay off. That's what happened in the 90s, Darryl.
No, but I'm
When
the
people
bank.
bought,
I'm the bank, and I'm like, okay, this guy bought a house for 2.2 million. He's
Yeah.
got a mortgage from us for 1.5 million, right?
yeah,
And the houses are worth 1.1 now on the
under
street.
Canadian law, when the mortgage comes due,
Yeah.
the bank is required to renew their mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And he and the buyer is not required to tell him that he has been unemployed for 8 months.
If
and
he's making the
been,
payments, he gets to stay.
right. He's been
Yeah.
doing deeds in the back alleys behind the food.
He better get some lube. But that's the bottom line. You got to keep your house. You got to stay there. And people in the 90s, when they came up from the 89, my parents bought their house for 86 and sold it for the same price in 2002.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it was. It took that long for the price they paid in 86 to come back up into 2002.
Oh,
And people in the 80s, it's the same thing. That happened to only be 240,000. But, nowadays it'll be the same thing. People will be waiting over a decade or more in order to be able to sell that home to at least come out and say, oh, God, that's over. And I have clients like that. I have clients who are, 60s, 50s. And they're like, they're burnt. They got burned back then. And so they're very cautious, right? Because they're like, I remember, we were in that house for years. We had to sell it for $40,000 less than we paid. And luckily they're in the position to do that.
Too many people own houses. Too many people, like the whole system was built around this ownership thing, and it really just shouldn't be, because most people either can't really afford it, or they don't understand even what the hell they're buying, and they just shouldn't own it, right?
Lots of people shouldn't own a home. 100%.
Lots of people shouldn't own a home.
But the problem is this: those same people who shouldn't own a home, Darryl, are also not very fiscally responsible, and so they need an investment vehicle that they can rely on. And unfortunately, the best one is a home and paying off the mortgage over 25 years. That's the problem, right? People who are super financially
depending on the timing.
secure and responsible, and can be investing money every single month consistently into an ETF or something that's going to be getting a decent return over the long course of that home ownership time, which they'd be renting. Those people definitely can manage to say that they've done better than the housing market. The average person who doesn't do that and spends all their money, no matter how much money they've got, so they're going to pay it on rent and all that kind of stuff. 25 years later, now they don't even own a home, and they got no savings, they got nothing in their RSP or anything like that. You're talking about some pretty devastating retirement plans, right? So it's like
Yeah, but you're taking one
a catch
extreme and
22.
comparing it to the other extreme. It's like
But it's a catch
there's a happy
22.
medium, I think,
There
for most
is.
people.
There is a happy median for a few people. But what I'm saying is the extremely fiscally irresponsible when we say, well, you shouldn't own a home because you got all these things. Well, they may not have another vehicle to be able to save enough money for retirement because they're so fiscally irresponsible. And I'm
Yeah.
selling a lot of homes, or at least listing a lot of homes, are of people who've been in there a long time, over 20 years, who have $0 left to their name, who are going to be going into a rental because they have just been borrowing from their home over and over and over again for the last 20 years. Every
But
renewal, it was take out more, pay off my credit cards, pay off this, pay off
yeah.
that.
And where were they working during this period of time?
Always employed, always employed,
Always employed?
always employed. Yeah,
So they're
regular
making
jobs.
money and they're draining all their equity out of the house?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, so
Yeah.
what the hell kind of lifestyles
Can
are
we talk
people?
about that house quickly so people know what we're talking about? The house in Brampton.
Yeah.
Just to finish that story, there was so it was like a home sold for 1.9 in 2022 April, and then I guess something happened because they kept on relisting it in 2025, all the way until recently. It was listed at 127, sold for 1,150,000. So they sold for
Crazy.
$760,000 less, plus fees. So
So like,
well over $800,000 loss. I never checked the realtor to see if it was the same guy who sold it to them. But when Darryl and I researched this, it was like everybody was paying around 1.9 in that neighborhood for
well,
those houses.
I asked you to do the research because I thought I was going to prove that it
Yeah,
was some weird anomaly and those people
yeah.
were fucking morons. But
Yeah.
clearly, that whole area turned into morons. And then now they're all stuck holding some.
Are they morons when people said that people were morons in
Where else did it
2015?
do this, though? Where else did price? You said
Lots of
Bancroft,
area.
right?
Well, Bancroft had a huge increase in prices, but Brampton was pretty significant. But think about it. People were calling people morons a long time ago when they would say, I can't believe you paid $500,000 for a house in Etobicoke,
Yeah.
and then eventually they looked like geniuses because, of course, the market came up.
Yeah.
So, it depends on how far the market goes
Well, but this is
down.
extraordinary. This is going from 1.9 to 1.1, okay, in 2 years, TK.
More
And
importantly, was it sold in 2020 for 1.2, and so it went up 710,000 in less than 2 years.
and then went right back down. That's what I'm saying. This is fucking crazy. This whole
That's
area
that's the
here,
criminal part. That's the criminal part for me as an agent. I would be like, guys, I don't care what you
there's
think this house is worth. These people just paid this much money for it this short of time ago. I don't know what's going on right now, but we need to sit on the sidelines.
so, but this is the whole thing, okay? And what's funny is that instead of proving that this was an anomaly, okay, and that
Yeah,
it was just some crazy shenanigans,
yeah,
I think it actually proved the broader shenanigans at play in this particular area, TK, because
yeah.
everything went from 1.1 back in whenever 2020, everything went to two something million in 2022, and
Yeah.
everything's back down to 1.1 now. So like, where's the appraisers? Where's the realtors? Where's the mortgage brokers? Where's the banks? Where's all these people that were
Everybody would
like,
have done the exact same process that they have today. They'd
this is
look around
so
and they go, all
fucked.
right, what is everybody paying? That's market price.
This is fucking crazy.
The market went up,
There's no
Darryl.
rails.
But
There's
it
no
wasn't a system
brakes.
issue. It was a consumer's
Come on.
appetite issue. And so we could say, which we were saying, we could say there was a supply issue at the time, that we
A
didn't have enough houses
supply
for the
issue.
amount of people. This could be in
Oh.
relation to the increase in immigration that we had at that time. This could be
But so we
an,
said
an, an,
that.
an
We said
increase
that.
a decrease in interest rates,
We
right?
said it
So
was
now When rates are low, people are all trying to borrow money in order to be able to, make a return because there was a lot of speculators in the market. There's actually a report I never sent you. I'm going to send it to you right now.
No, but there was clearly there was no shortage of inventory, right?
Check out what I just sent you here. So we can post that on the screen here. This is from Jason Mercer. So he is in Treb. He's like the data guy. He is, somebody who, does basically all the Treb market watches and stuff like that too. I forget what his title is, but he's a pretty, smart guy. So you can see that line right there shows expected home sales based on employed GTA population, right? So what would be, this is from Stats Canada, what would be expected for sales, you know what I mean, over time, all the way from 2011. Like it's a pretty steady line, you know what I mean? So it's pretty, respected data. Actual home sales shows like that blue line, up, down, different market conditions. Now it's way down. So in that red shaded area, that's actually pent up demand. That's actually what, how many people are sitting on the sideline right now going, I'm supposed to buy. I know this is
This
realtor
is such a
shenanigans.
lot of horseshit. I can't even believe it. I'm looking at this going,
But
come
that
on.
is the number of people right now who
Yeah.
are sitting on the sidelines going, it's not a good time to buy. It's not a good time to buy.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. Of course that's how it works.
What else could it be? It could be
I don't
some
know.
investors are not going to
It's
be in the market because they can't make money. Could be some people don't want to trade their homes. They don't want to move up or down because of market conditions. It's not as stable. But,
it could be
long-term
because
home
people
sale
think
trends
it's going to go down, right?
to their mean. And right now, I think that there's going to be a time not to pump the market like tomorrow, but there's going to be a time when sales do come back eventually.
You can look at a chart now that will show you that you're basically back on track if you get rid of the pandemic real estate market, right?
Okay.
You're like back at the levels pre-pandemic, and I don't think we're stopping here. I don't think we're. I think if there's a mean, we're
Yeah.
probably going to smoke right through that thing if we haven't already.
Below. You think it will go below?
It's got to. I
Yeah.
think it's got to because I think we're already almost back at like where the trajectory was or where the mean was heading.
Yeah.
I,
I believe in the law of averages though, so I believe that no matter what, it will always get back to that where it's supposed to be, that mean average of where it was supposed to go. So,
sure, it's just how painful will it be and how long will it take to get
yeah.
there, right?
So
Like, because
long-term real estate, I'm still bullish. I still think people should buy real estate. I still think it's a good place for you to put your money. I think it's a great place for people to live. 99% of people should be just looking at real estate like a place to live.
well, this is what everybody, yeah,
Yeah.
99% of the people,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, that brings up a whole other topic, and
What is it?
well, just should people be buying houses to split up and rent out to four, five, six people,
1% people who are like skilled operators who have got a real actual plan on how they're going to make money. And
like
they're
a
not just like,
license, that whole license thing that they did in Brampton?
I don't think you need to have a license, but I think
No,
that the people who are the retail investors who don't know what they're doing and are just speculating,
yeah.
don't belong in the market. I don't know if we should keep them out. I think that would be like a little communist like, but I definitely think that there's going to be a lot of people who won't come back into real estate because they're now going to get scared off because of all the different stories.
What
But
about,
real investors right now, like you and
yeah,
I both know people who are like, this is my business, this is my job. They're all still buying
they're buying.
because they have a formula and they have a strategy and that they're looking at this like I'm getting it for 28% cheaper than I was getting it for a handful of years ago.
Yeah,
And their
yeah.
strategy a handful of years ago didn't work very often because the speculators were jacking the prices up
Jacking
too
the
high.
prices up. They had all the competition in the
Can I
world.
can we go to that multifamily report now? Because that's a pretty good indicator of real investors buying. Agreed or not?
Well, it's definitely an indicator of them buying up units that are worth less than they were a year ago, is the gist that I got that from that. Like guys are
A little
buying
bit.
stuff
Yeah,
at a
price per
discount.
door is down, but also price per door could be down because
Overall
cap
volume.
rates have expanded, right? They've gone up,
Yeah.
and
Well, that's why.
the unit numbers are like they're older units, right? So
Well, the interest rates drive the prices down, right?
yeah.
Because the rents are, well, and the rents going down isn't helping, I'm sure. But there
So
was
this
a lot less volume, right? And the doors
sales volume's 1% down. Still
1%
two two
down.
two $2 billion of 10 plus units were sold in the GTA for
Yeah.
in 2025 for multifamily.
And I got to think that most of those were buildings that somebody inherited and just didn't have the money to put capital expenditures that were necessary in. Like, why would you sell right now if you were an operator? If you were like this was your business and you had something that was making money, or like, what are you selling to
The
cash
right the,
out to
the
buy
writing's on the
something
wall
new?
that the market's going down, and you're finally like, but also yeah, a lot of estates. The ones that I usually deal with are estates,
Yeah.
right? Because people don't want to sell those. They're great
Well, why are
buildings.
you selling? Uh,
The estate wants to sell it now. But I mean, you got some big purchase price, $312 million for 1,100 suites,
hmm,
15 million, 30 million, 29 million, 43 million, 115 million. Price per doors, 300,000, give or take, on these
yeah.
bigger units. So the skilled operators, the guys who know what they're doing, are buying like crazy.
I have many meetings with many people that are all looking for the same thing, and
Yeah.
they're all looking aggressively for it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not rocket science. It's just,
Yeah. Vacancy rates up a little bit. It's at 3% compared to 2.5. Average rent is 2,000, which is up 3.5%. But these are purpose-built rentals. The
yeah.
condo market is down, which are individual rental units and things like that. That's down. But
How are they
this is
not
tracking
blended all together?
purpose-built rentals, right?
Somebody should
Um,
blend all these numbers together so you actually have something that makes sense. Because, like, are they not in competition with each other? Are the purpose-built rentals not in competition with the
you know what?
condos?
The rental data is so obscure because it's self-reported. It's through listings on rental.ca. It's through the MLS. It's through the self-reported REITs and all that. Like when we do MLS data, it's just like Toronto MLS, biggest system, majority of sales are all there. Here's the numbers. And so it allows us to have some data, open market. When you
Yeah.
start going into like private data, was that non-arm's length transaction, all that kind of stuff, it gets weird. So they just stick to MLS data, and we all trust that. When you go into rental data, there's different sources and different information. So yeah, it's a little like they have to just sort of try to follow a trend, but
Yeah.
it's not 100% accurate.
I have an idea, and I
Yeah,
think it actually will make a big difference.
tell me.
Because I mean, if everybody doesn't need a license, TK, okay?
License for what?
Well, just in general, like
Like investing?
just in general, if you're going to buy
Driver's
a
license?
building and you're going to own it and operate it as a rental, where other people are going to, live their lives and rely
Yeah.
on you for shelter,
Yeah.
and you don't need a license for that,
Okay.
then I think,
It's actually a great idea.
well, I don't know if it is. I think this is a better idea, TK.
Oh, okay.
I think realtors shouldn't need a license. And
Okay.
realtors shouldn't, no, but they shouldn't have to go to school and they shouldn't be part of an association. I think anybody should be able to just sell real estate,
Okay.
like on Marketplace, like Facebook Marketplace. I'm not kidding, though.
Let's put this in a short.
No, but I'm not kidding. No, for sure. I would put this in a short.
Okay, make sure this one's in a short on Instagram. Good.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
but I'm not kidding. I think we should get rid of real estate licenses because I
Okay.
think that there's people that know real estate way better than realtors that can't trade in real estate legally because they don't have their license.
But it's
But
like the easiest license to get. Why don't they just get their license? It's not
yeah,
like
but
there's like a high like
exactly. What's
bar
the
of
fucking
entry.
point
Write
of
some
the
exams, go to the
license?
school.
Right.
Well, it's to regulate
Eliminate
it so
it.
that people are going to lose their license if they don't do what's necessary, especially with all the things that have been going on. Licenses are absolutely necessary for the protection of the consumer.
But you just
But
said that they weren't for apartment owners.
apartment owners, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
like you just said that if somebody was going to buy a place and rent it out to people, that they didn't need a license for that. It was unnecessary.
Oh, I
That
thought you
that
meant in like an investor's license.
Well, that's a whole other story. No, investor's licenses, you lose your fucking money. You lose your
Okay, but I
license.
like the idea of a rental license, meaning
Rental
it's a
license.
little communist, but
Brampton's doing it
you
already.
want to be a landlord, you need a landlord license so
Yeah.
that we know what
It's
you're
like Terry
doing.
on
We
for
know that
fuck's
you know the
sakes.
rules. It's just like Tarion. We know
Yeah.
that you're going to be
How do we not
able to
have this?
comply, and we know that the tenants are in good hands. It makes a lot of sense. It
How
push
do
a
we
lot
not
of
have this?
small landlords out of the market,
They
but it
should be
also
out.
brings some regulation to the market. A great idea, Daryl.
Yeah, why don't we do
Daryl,
that and get rid
this
of
show, I'm
the
telling
other
you, this
license
show
though?
for ideas that the government will never use
Never
is just
use.
absolutely top notch. All
Yeah.
right.
Well,
We got all the answers.
we have some answers that might work, but I mean, and they're probably worth trying. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Tell me you read
I'm gonna.
the Madame Holmes article.
Yeah, of course I did.
Isn't that
Well,
great?
it's a good marketing ploy, but it's also like more.
Nobody's getting a reduction on their house.
It's just bullshit. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just shenanigans, or somebody's controlling the mortgage on the other end, right? Or the valuation on the other
No,
end.
do you know what? You didn't read the whole article.
I did. It's if they have to lower prices, though, they're
Yeah.
going to lower prices, and they're still going to find a way to get those people's house to close at the price.
The same price. Okay.
Right?
So it's not. So this is now Madame saying, and honestly, genius marketing.
Good marketing.
Amazing.
Smart.
Like this, whoever came up with this idea at Madame, like give him a promotion because somebody out there right now is worried about the price going down and that they are going to buy in this project because of this marketing tool.
Yeah.
But what it's based on is Madame Homes. What the policy is, hey, you buy a home for $1 million. If by the time you move into that home, the price of that home has gone down, you will pay the lower price. So you get a guarantee. 30 days before closing, we'll make sure that we check everything. But it's not based on surrounding projects or other resale homes.
No, it's their price list.
Reality.
Yeah.
It is Madame Homes
price list
of that project, which does make sense. Now,
what if you discount it like on a APS, or you give them like 200,000 in upgrades or for half
no,
price
it's
or
based
whatever?
on the base model only.
Base model. Oh,
base
yeah.
model
It did
only.
say
All
base
the
model
all the other
only.
upgrades don't count. But
Right.
the base model price if that goes down. So
somebody thought of a scheme.
Definitely Madame is not going to be reducing their prices on the base models price list
No.
at any point during this. But it does make me feel good that some other Joe Blow is not going to buy my house for cheaper from the same builder a year later.
Somebody is, well, I don't think it protects you from that, but maybe. I mean, I guess it depends how bad it gets. Madame's a big company. Like, they're not throwing stuff out into the market that they're worried is going to just collapse now. Fuck. I mean, where are they even selling this shit? What is it, Markham and
They must have some
Scarborough?
projects out there, but good for them.
I don't know. What I guess
no
is that
developer's got a perfect reputation.
Madame's also the ones that blew out the Oakville project for like $625 a foot. So they're being.
I've always liked Madame. Madame for
different.
low rise to me has always been a company that is very like good to deal with. Canadian company that people want to buy homes from, and that the average development that they go through is for average Canadians. It's not luxury. It's not like the cheapest of the cheap, but it's like, a quality subdivision that if you move into a Madame subdivision, you're pretty comfortable going into. So I feel like what they're doing is preserving that reputation. That's a good decision.
Yeah, it's not like their houses are caving in on themselves and people are dying in them, right?
That's an issue.
Well, not for them though. But they seem to be forward thinking, and they seem to be trying to get rid of the inventory a little more aggressively than some other people, at least publicly facing. I know that there's lots of deals going on in the background right now to eliminate inventory at crazy low prices, like bulk pricing. We've talked about it before. I think the last time I heard was like $650 a foot.
Yeah,
it's probably even lower than that right now on some deals.
Assignment market right now, I'm getting involved with, which I'm not excited for. And the guy on our team does a ton of assignments, is always giving me updates and stuff like that. But yeah, you're in that $600 to $700 a square foot range to move an assignment if it is like something half decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you got to look at like how much did that person pay, and that he's doing some crazy deals. I wish I could remember some of the stories. But like, there's just some crazy assignment deals right now from people who owe, who are worth a lot of money or who put down huge down payments, and that he's juggling around how to be able to get a buyer to be able to, take over this contract, even though there's hundreds of thousands of dollars. The clients are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, in order to be able to get out of these contracts, plus lose their deposits. We're arranging all sorts of funding. If you got an assignment, contact me because I'll put you in contact. We've got so many solutions. We're lending out money. We're putting up deposits for people. We're doing all sorts of stuff to be able to get them out of their assignments and into a better position in life. It's crazy. It's crazy all the juggling that we're doing right now.
But what's also crazy is like you see these units that are on the market. Like I don't know how many you've been to or how many you've looked through, but it's really bad. Like the quality of the units that have been produced is really fucking bad.
Yeah.
And the like the amenities are all shit. The staff is all garbage if there's even staff. Like it's,
Yeah.
it's like, where is the guy at the front desk all the time? If there's even a guy, like a lot of things are just buttons to get in the buildings now,
Usually most of them are like 20-something-year-old Indian girls.
or 20 something year
That's
old Indian girls with a
that's like
security badge.
half of them that I see.
If they're 20, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's so
No,
crazy. But
yeah.
like the views, even I was watching this guy showing off what he considered a good view downtown. And he thought it was a good view because you could see the water, but you'd have to like go to the corner of the balcony and like
Yeah.
peek around the side, and then you could see the water. And then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
turn
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
way and you could like see the CN Tower and the train tracks. And I was like,
Yeah.
and this is considered a good view in downtown Toronto right now. That's pretty scary because
Yeah.
it's not a good view. I can assure you. I don't know what people, why do you want to live in that is the real question. Why do you want to live on the 50th story downtown looking at the side of another building right
Yeah.
beside you?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on with that?
Yeah.
Who is that guy that's the choice that they made? Like, this is my dream
I think there's
place
a
to
time
live.
there's a time and a place in everybody's life where that could work out. You know what I mean?
A time and a
Yeah.
place in everybody's life.
Anything over like 35 is just like excessive. It's like I don't need to go into anything over 35. I'm good. I'm good. That's high enough.
35 is crazy. Where was I? I was in a
Yeah.
building. I was at the Scotiabank building or some Scotia something building the other day on the 68th floor.
Yeah.
And you get in the elevator that's like dedicated to go to those higher floors, and you don't know what floor you're on. You're just like it's launching you to the moon.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah. Yeah.
like, you can feel your face starting to sag and your ears starting to get like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah.
an airplane. And I was like, holy cow, this is scary. What if this thing snaps? I'm going down 68 floors in this thing.
Yeah.
Who wants to be up here? And then we were up there and I was like, this is a pretty cool view, but I'm really afraid. I don't want to look out the
I don't
window
want to live
anymore.
up there.
I don't want to
If my
live
office was
up
up there,
there.
it's like, okay, maybe once in a while you got to go there, but
Oh,
definitely not live up there.
I would
So
be so scared
I'll
looking
give you,
out the window.
I'll give you some boots on the ground. We talked a lot about pre-construction, so let's go to resale.
Okay.
Um, so I got one hot listing right now. So I got offers next week. I listed it for the price that the last one sold for. You know, last
Okay.
one sold in November.
Good
Detached
strategy.
4-bedroom house, Kennedy and Huntingwood. Address is 42 Belgreen. Getting lots of showings. Offer dates next week. Definitely
Where's that? What
Kennedy and
area is that?
Huntingwood.
Where is
Kennedy
that?
and Huntingwood. There's
Scarborough?
yeah Scarborough, and it's like near a good school. Agincourt CI is like a pretty popular school in Scarborough. Good programs, French immersion, all that kind of stuff. Agincourt, you know what I mean? So their
Yeah.
scores are really high over there. Like so,
Did you
all
say
Chinese.
did you say Asian court?
No, that's race. I said Agincourt, Daryl.
Oh, I heard Asian
Oh
court.
my God, we got to cut that out, guys. Come on.
Did you say that? I
I'm
feel like you
joking.
did. Okay.
Maybe I'm gaslighting you.
Uh,
But anyway, so it's cool house, great little pocket, great little area. So definitely hot. Lots of people are showing it like every day, just like my phone's just going off the hook.
that's good.
Um, Another one in Ajax not doing so well. Power sales. I did this one power sale, um, listed it, and I used Chat GPT to like clean up the photos because sometimes when people have a power sale, their place is not that clean. So I got the photos, and then I just did some prompts in Chat GPT, like keep everything the same, don't change anything, just like take the bong off the coffee table.
Right?
Like
Yeah.
just put away all the dirty laundry in the corner into the
Yeah.
closet, and it just like cleaned it up perfect. Like the
Yeah.
photos look amazing, so I'm super happy about that. um I'm going out with a couple buyers today actually, and like Central Toronto is still crazy hot. Bully offer on another property that was listed in that sort of like Bloor West area. Got on the market 1 or 2 days later. There's a
See,
bully
this
offer,
is
and I can't even get in. The other
this
one I'm
is
rushing into tonight. Saturday, we're recording the show Saturday. I'm going at 7 p.m. tonight to go to like Young and like Midtown area, like Rosedale, to be able to go and see a house because I can see on Broker Bay there's all these showings. There's no offer dates, and 100% it's going to sell tomorrow.
it's very confusing. where you have some stuff that is like it's in disaster mode. You're down
Yeah.
760,000 from what you paid for it. And
Yeah.
then you have other stuff that's in multiple offers and getting tons of action and so is the only so are these good houses in good areas or is it just
Yeah.
good area makes the difference
It's good.
now?
It's good product, and there's no inventory in those areas.
But
When
are
you go
these
outside, you start looking at other areas. You start looking around Durham region. You start looking around York. You start going in all these areas where there's just a bunch of houses and a bunch of people who are like, whatever. Because
but
think about it.
are they
People loved,
retaining value? Are these houses retaining
yes,
value or are they
increasing
still
in value.
they didn't drop the 30% like everything else?
Like I mentioned last week on the show about the one that sold for 1.8 that was in Bloor West that sold for 1.55 in August 2022.
Now it's sold for 1.8, you're saying?
1.8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of value being retained in central Toronto. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need you to tell me. I want you to reaffirm that. So I'm not
Yeah.
the only fucking person out here saying that all these high-end luxury houses not only well, some
Ultra luxury right now, there's some sales, but those people are definitely nervous in a lot of ways, right? So you got to be, picking and choosing the type of language you use, but definitely like central Toronto, solid neighborhoods, average price points in those neighborhoods, no issues. You'll sell the house.
well, I think there's two different kinds of luxury sellers, right?
I'm
There's the
saying
people.
average prices in those neighborhoods.
Right. Well, I mean, there are definitely people that took a hit when they sold their property because they were in a position where they, I guess, had to take a hit.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think overall, if you, at least if you look at the research that I've seen and I've had done,
Yeah.
you see that the high end stuff really actually retained its value, if not grew over the same period that the rest of the market got decimated, which
Mhm.
is crazy. And yes, the pace slows and increases depending on I don't even know what anymore. But what's crazy is like if you have money and you want something good and it's available,
Mhm.
it's not like run of the mill good. Like there's different. The problem here in Toronto is that it's very hard to differentiate the difference between luxury and luxury and luxury and luxury because do a search on Treb. How many
Use the
have
keyword luxury.
luxury? Yeah. Like how many houses?
Luxury vinyl floor in the basement.
Right? Everything
Yeah.
is luxury. So it's
Yeah.
like, and then in the pictures, I mean, before you could chat GPT them to look better, you
Yeah.
took a picture and like, listen, you can make a pig look really good with a little bit of lipstick, right? And so
Yeah.
this is what happened before, but I don't know. I just think it's I don't know. I can't. It's so confusing right now where values should be for what kind of products, and it's like it just proves that divide of wealth, right? Where like wealthy people can go in and pay something that didn't crash, right, in value because that's something that they want. Where
Yeah.
other people, it's like they can't even sell their place so that they can like keep food on the table for God's sakes.
Well, wealthy people didn't jump into the pre-construction condo market to make a quick buck because they already had money,
No, but you're
right?
talking, I'm
The
talking,
only
okay,
the
forget
only
about
people
those people. What
what
about just the normal people that had a job, bought a new house, or bought a
yeah,
resale and got caught with low rates and whatever?
they're still doing okay and they're still
Are,
living in their home and they don't need to move. So
yeah,
they,
but they went
when they
from
made
having
that
a
decision,
vacation and food to having a house
no,
only.
they didn't.
They
They
didn't?
because when they bought the home,
Yeah,
they bought it based on like how much money am I going to spend every month on that. It's only the people who now are renewing their mortgages where things are going to
that's what I'm
be a little
saying.
bit issue. But you can just go and
What about all
extend
these
the
guys in
amortization.
Brampton? What about
You
all
can
the
just extend
guys
the
in
amortization.
all these guys in Brampton who bought for
Yeah,
2.2 million? It's now
yeah,
worth 1.1. At some point, something's going to happen with all these guys. And you
yeah.
sent me that list of a little pocket over there. Like, how many was there? There's 11 in
Well, I
that
made sure
little
they were all
pocket.
accurate. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, but do you know what I mean? They're
yeah,
all over 1.9 million. That's all.
yeah.
That's just a little tiny
It's a
piece of
bunch
the
of people who are
fuse,
really
right?
unhappy right now. Yeah,
There's no, but if they lose their jobs,
yeah,
now they're fucked, beyond fucked, right?
yeah. There's no
And
way for them to like just sell their home and get back on track.
No, and chances are those people already refied at a higher rate than they bought it at already because they probably had some stupid variable at the beginning, or they had.
I hope not. But if
But
they
this is
did
the
it right,
recipe, right?
if they did it right,
They
only
didn't.
42% back then used variable. So 58% of people, if they got a 2% interest rate 5 years, it's coming up in 2027. So we haven't even seen the crash yet.
Right. Of those
Dun,
ones.
dun, dun.
Oh my
Renewal
God. And those are
crisis
guys that were
coming
like,
to a neighborhood near you, 2027.
right? Those are like coders that were making money that just got wiped out by AI, or those are
Yeah, yeah,
guys,
yeah, yeah.
like all like I know every time I say this, you say I'm crazy. It's not going to happen soon. I
Hold on,
don't
which
know,
topic?
man.
Because I've said that a lot.
Just
Which topic?
on AI replacing a ton of
Oh, that
jobs
one.
really
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
quickly. Forget about
I was watching the
realtors.
Chinese army that
Oh,
they're putting together with like their little jumping fighting men with their like
the
machine guns
robots.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
It was
So
crazy.
imagine that just be like, all right, we just dropped off, like we want to take over this country. So imagine the British like naval ships going throughout the world, taking everyone over. They've got like, cannons and guns, and everyone's got like swords and like bows and arrows and stuff. Like they're just taking over the world like it's no big deal. If you just drop off a million robots on anybody's shore and you're just like, you're ours now, like
Yeah.
how can anyone stop that?
But did you see? You're talking about like the kung fu jumping crazy robot
That
display
I
that they
saw,
did.
but then I also saw another one where they're giving them guns and stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And they're
that's
practicing
AI.
just
That was AI. But the real video of the
yeah.
robots.
I saw that guy. Like yeah, he was doing like capoeira style. Like yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
But
It was cool.
what's crazy is if you
Yeah,
watch the video, at least one that I watched showed where they were a year ago
yeah.
versus where they are now, and
It's
it's like
crazy. It's not moving
mind-blowingly.
like a human, but it's moving like the moves are right. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
It's crazy. And then
Yeah,
I don't know if you know about the whole open claw thing
I've
and
been reading about that.
or
Yeah,
Claude or whatever it
yeah,
was
yeah,
called. Uh th- like all these things that are happening right now,
yeah,
they're happening really fast.
yeah,
And I honestly, it's a little scary, I think, right now, how fast things are improving.
yeah,
Because again, it's not like, okay, fine. You're not going to replace the guy with the brain who's creative and who's ahead of things and who wants to use tools to his advantage. You're going to lose all the people that don't think that AI is anything and just sit in front of a computer sending emails and doing spreadsheets all day. And that's a lot of people. Like, if
yeah.
you think about how many people just go to an office and sit in front of a computer and just send emails around, right? Receive an email, send it over to this guy. Get an email, send it over to this guy.
Yeah, I was trying to find something on my phone because I was watching something on AI. There's a page I follow on Instagram there, and it was just going through all those things, the Claude bot and whatever it's called, all those things that are all those new
Agents. Yeah.
AI platforms
Agentic
that have all
AI.
that are all just coming up with things and are just like eliminating things like little by little. So I was like, oh man, this is coming. Something's coming.
It's coming like
Yeah,
crazy. It's
I love
coming
it.
like crazy. I love
Yeah,
it on one hand, but again, like
and
what it does to the economy at the beginning.
while the big topic is making a country more efficient, means it's going to rely less on immigration in order to build its economy,
We
right?
need those
And so
robots
guess what?
digging for
But
gold.
robots don't need houses, Daryl.
That's
That's our
right.
issue. That's Canada's issue. Is when AI takes over, now it's going to be like, okay, well, in order to increase productivity, we don't need to bring in a bunch of people to go and dig a hole and fill that job and drive that bus and be at the hospital and all that kind of stuff. We don't need those people anymore, which
No.
means we don't need all that housing anymore.
Well, but
And I'm going to be
even
out of a job, Daryl. What am I going to do?
I keep telling you, you
What
won't
am I going to do?
listen. I'm going to be out
No
of a
one's going to
job
buy
too.
no one's going to buy houses. I'm just joking. What are you talking
Are
about?
you
People still need
crazy?
homes.
No, why?
But they don't need building new homes, but they don't want to live. So people
No,
don't
but they
want to go
won't
and
need
buy
a
a house
realtor. Of
to
course they're
go
going
and
to
buy
buy
a
a
home.
house. They don't need a
How many?
realtor. Who the fuck
Okay.
needs a realtor?
Okay.
If you got a
Sure.
robot that knows what you know right now, which listen,
I
you're
guarantee
you're
you the robot could not take on the same level of challenges that a real estate developer does, like you, or a
yeah.
real estate agent does.
Well, today, but I
Yes.
guarantee you
Yeah.
I'll bet you that it is better than a lot of the developers that I've run into in my days. That's for sure.
Sure.
right?
And there's realtors that it could replace too if you're just going to be
right,
showing houses and stuff. But to
right.
navigate the emotions of a person who's buying or selling a home, even the average human doesn't navigate that very well. Trust me.
I think we're all going to end up with one of those robots, like a phone,
Psychic.
like it's a
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
We're all going to have these things, and anything that we need done is going to be very easy to have
Yes.
done.
Yes.
And I think we're going to have to figure out like what money is going to change completely, and how
Yeah.
we go through life, like all of us.
Yeah.
Even the best developers and the best realtors, we're going to have to make adjustments because it's going to be
Listen,
fucking
I'm going to live in
wild.
denial, okay, as
You
long
can
as I possibly
live in
can to
denial,
make sure that I have a job, okay? But when that day
stock up
comes, I
on
will embrace it and I
stock up
will
on metal. Everybody stock up on metal and real estate, and get ready for an interesting ride. Good real estate.
yes.
Not like average, normal, crappy condo real estate. Like
Yes.
get
And
something
companies will be a
that
lot
produces something.
more useless. Companies will become useless. There'll be
Well, a
certain things
lot
you
of
just don't need
companies.
that service or product anymore. You just
What
don't like it. Just it's going to be something that you're able to get on your own, to source on your own, and
if
the income that company's generating is just won't be necessary.
if that fucking robot can
Yeah,
jump around like that and swing swords without killing that little kid
yeah,
standing beside it and do all
yeah.
that crazy shit today,
He can tutor
okay?
my kids to learn
Well,
Japanese. All right, like
don't
come on.
but don't fucking tell me that that guy can't run electrical wire in a house or run plumbing pipes or paint a house or whatever the hell people think. Oh, be an electrician, you're gonna be safe because you're doing something physical. If it can fucking do that, like please, it can run wire 24/7 and be better than any electrician on earth by next year for sure. If not 2 years from now, okay?
We'll see. We'll see.
You're gonna
Anyways,
have crews of one robot building entire houses in a
yeah,
in a week.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
from foundation
You'll just
to
be
to
like, listen,
roof.
just build me a house.
Just go.
Go get the materials. Let me
Just
know
go.
when it's done.
Yeah,
Let me know
yeah.
when you need decisions made.
The smartest thing I think somebody could probably go into in the next little while is definitely like coding AI stuff and repairing robots. Robot
Robot
repair.
repair.
But only you need to specialize in the
Hold on.
robots
What?
that repair the robots. Okay.
Exactly. Why can't the
They
robots
will
repair the
soon
robots,
enough.
Daryl?
I'm giving you a
And why
little
can't the robots
stopgap.
build the AI software too?
This is the
So,
fucking problem right now.
anyways,
And this is
nobody's
why
safe.
nobody's safe. This is what
Nobody's
they're
safe
all freaking out
100%.
about, though, right
Yeah,
now,
nobody's
is
safe
that
100%.
the robots are rewriting the robots right now and they're building
Yes.
themselves. And
They're going like,
soon
whoa, 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 whoa. We can do this better. Why do you
we can
guys? Why are you guys? Screwing up so much? Yeah, I
soon
love it.
they're just gonna make themselves like oh my god, it's scary, man. and,
Yeah,
and listen, I've got every single AI model you can have at the top paid version just to play with these things and try them
yeah,
all out and see what they're
yeah.
capable of, and I'm not
So the
delusional,
Chinese,
okay?
what's that one? Not DeepSeek, Deep Send,
The
or
new one,
they just made the video that
Kiki or Kiwi or
they just
something like that.
they just made a movie, like a Hollywood movie with just
it,
like one prompt.
some of this
In
stuff is
seconds,
so
they
crazy.
create something that normally would cost millions of dollars.
And it's not
Yeah,
perfect, and a lot of it's really stupid, and like a lot
yeah.
of times I'll get back something and I'll be like, whoa, like I
You
can't even
do
believe how
remember
bad this
NFTs
is.
though,
NFTs,
and
yeah,
the blockchain, and how
sure.
that world was all going to be like you had the same energy then as you do now, and that fell apart.
Well, I think I still have the same energy for those contracts. And that was the
Okay,
whole energy, was like those contracts that
okay,
were validations of things and automated seemed to me to be a really good idea. Just to have like a certification process that was digital and
yeah,
that you could trade the deed like that. That was the
sure.
real
I like
appeal.
that. Yeah,
The
which is where we're going.
NFTs,
Which is
like
where we're going for
I
sure.
never bought an
I got a
NFT,
contract. I
did
got an
you?
APS yesterday from a no. We tried to make him and sell him. Remember?
Yeah.
But
Well, that seemed like a good idea because
that
that
was a
was
good
like it
idea.
cost nothing, right?
That was a good idea. But I and somebody else made up one for us. I think, right?
That's right. And
Yeah.
that went
I
nowhere
got an
too.
APS yesterday from an agent, and it was just like, what planet are we on here? Like this should have been done by like somebody better. So
Like a robot.
anybody better. in this case.
Yeah,
But
like a bad robot.
so
Like a
that would be
dumb robot.
something that I think would be really helpful.
Oh my God. APSs and just filling out forms is like so easy. And now you can have a chatbot that asks them the questions verbally and fills out the form digitally, and then can send it to them to sign the goddamn thing. It's like these are just all little things that are slowly replacing, maybe somebody's time for an hour or two a day. And then all of a sudden it's like one person is not necessary. And then all of a sudden, right now,
how much are you spending a month on AI?
Oh God. I think I just added it up. I must be at least $1,200 on like AI services right now. If not, I probably am not counting everything in there. And then, with Google, you pay a certain amount, you get all kinds of like storage and other kinds of stuff. I don't know. I got 11 Labs and Hey Gen and the CapCut and DeepSeek and Claude and
anyone that is
ChatGPT,
right now
Gemini.
You want to know, but do you eliminate them? Do you eventually go, okay, I don't need that anymore?
Well, right now I got Grok too. Right now I use them for very different things because they're all better at certain things. But what I love doing also is say, hey, Grok, like ChatGPT thinks this. What do you say? All right. And then I'll do the same thing with Gemini and the same thing with Claude. And then I'll bounce them off each other for a bit and I'll end up with something that's really great and like really polished and really smart. But you got to manage that process because if you allow something in that's wrong, they'll all just run with it because they don't understand context. You literally, the mistake I made that I'm learning now is that every time I got to start from scratch. It's like here's the whole
learned
context,
that yesterday doing those photos.
Yeah.
I'm like new chat or new whatever it was. I'm like, you can't give them any information that they're supposed to forget. Well, they don't know how to forget.
Are you a real estate agent and you're looking to make a change anywhere in Ontario? Guess what? We're hiring. Franklin Associates, #1 team in the GTA for all Remax teams, #1 team for all teams from all companies for number of units sold throughout Toronto. So if you're looking to make a change, best decision I ever made was to join Franklin Associates. Go to jointeamleo.com and we can set up a call.
Well, but it's weird because they'll remember certain things. So for example, on Thelma, like at some point we had 24 units, right?
Yeah.
And so forever now we've been at 16 units. Yeah. And every time fucking ChatGPT is bringing up something about the project, it goes 24 units. And then I go, God damn you, you son of a bitch. And I'm not even kidding. I'll yell at my ChatGPT now. I'll be like, I can't fucking rely on you. I'm going over to Gemini because you can't remember how many units are in this thing. Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm sorry. Blah, 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 blah. You're right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I checked. And it's like these things are really
They do
dumb.
learn you. Yeah. They give me lots of suggestions based on my old prompts.
But they learn you and they're dumb.
But when it's a new prompt, it's just best to restart all over again so that they treat it as a new project.
Here's everything. Here's everything new that I want you to use to base your whatever on for this thing. And then you get much better results. But you have to treat it like it's like a retarded 9-year-old genius. Okay.
Yes.
Right. It's like you come back sometimes and you're like,
we mean the R word in the most politically correct way.
I don't even give a shit anymore because it's 2026 and that word is back on the table.
That word is back on the table.
It's been off the table in public for a long time,
years.
But it's back.
It's back.
It's back. Yeah. But I'm not kidding you.
Only referring to 9-year-old geniuses. That's it. You can't use it in any other context.
And AI. And it has to be part of the conversation. But if you treat it like you may end up back with an answer that was brought to you by like a 9-year-old autistic kid who was maybe lost focus for a second.
All right, now we're on to autistic kids. But
I mean I should hit everything while I'm at it.
Okay.
You haven't saved
What about
me.
fat kids? What about fat kids?
Fat kids are different. Fat kids are different.
All right.
Fat kids are very different, TK.
All right.
But
we're talking about AI. We're talking about AI, right? We're talking about AI. This is all.
We're talking
AI.
about real estate, actually.
And we're talking about real estate. But
how many
AI
different
right
ways
now is starting to infiltrate our business?
Well, how many different ways are you using AI personally for real estate right now?
So photos and descriptions, obviously, creating content like images and flyers and posts and things like that. All the database, the CRM is all being analyzed, so it's telling us how we're dealing with clients. I'm trying to take that up to a next level, but I feel like automating through AI in the database is not good, even though there is some usefulness to it. I just have to learn it to do it in a certain way, because I don't want it to ever be automated where people are not feeling that personal connection. I like to pick up the phone and talk to people and make sure that they know I care. I don't want anyone to think like, oh, I'm just getting some AI bot now that's sending me messages. When I send out those positive Monday affirmations that I send out, those positive affirmations once a month to clients that I send out to you too. I get a lot of responses from them, and I message people right back where they're like, "Is this a bot or this?" I said, "No, I just sent you a text. What's going on?" This week it was like I got a bunch of calls, and I was talking to a lot of people just from that one message, and it's personal, you know. So it's like, to me, that makes sense. But there is some more CRM work that I can do. I'm just exploring. Actually, ClubBot and another one is in our CRM, which is Follow Up Boss. So that's actually really, really cool that's coming.
Well, okay. So I mean, I personally use it to analyze contracts, compare drafts, like
Oh,
if
clauses. Yeah, yeah.
right,
Making
like
clauses. We do. Yeah,
making
all the time.
clauses
The
like
best clauses I
crazy,
can possibly write now are through ChatGPT. It's just like,
100%.
why
And
would I bother trying to write it out myself?
if I get a proposal from somebody and then we have
Yeah.
a conversation and I get a revision or I've asked for certain things and I get it back, I can say, okay,
Yeah.
like what's the difference between the first one and the second one?
Yeah.
I use it for imagery, for strategy. I
Yep.
use it for coding. I use it for planning like new features. I use it for so many things. It's
Yeah.
literally crazy. And I can only
I use it for a lot of
imagine
Chinese stuff too.
for sure.
Translators don't work, but if you throw something in there and you say like, how do you say you're a real jerk and never call me again? Not that
Yeah,
I've ever said that before, but in Chinese, and then it would give you like all casual way, formal way, best way,
sure.
for your WeChat, or for, you know. Do you
Well,
want to say it in a more business like manner, or would you like to say it? It's super helpful.
Well, and so my life has been marred by, me I if I get a text or I get an email, I just respond quickly with as few words as I can come up with, because generally I'm doing something else and I want to give you what you're looking for or
Yeah,
give you what I think you need so that you can go do what I need you to do.
yeah,
Right? And that generally gets me in trouble because it's so short and
yes,
people
okay. I do that
know
too. I do
that
that too.
I'm pushy. They think I'm yelling at them all the time. And so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
use
yeah.
ChatGPT now. I'll say, okay, like here's the email that was sent to me. This is what I thought in my head that I should
Yes.
send. Can you
W-
tell me?
ours is just a button in our CRM.
Yeah,
So I'm like, meet you tomorrow 2 p.m. and then I can send like a pre like generated reply, and be
yeah,
like, "Hey, Darryl, good to hear from you again. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that you're back from your vacation. How about we meet tomorrow 2 p.m. at the property? Does that work for you? Let me
yeah,
know if anything else you need to know before I get there, so I can look into it for you.
yeah,
Regards,
yeah.
TK." you know?
Well, but what happens now is you train these things to speak like you and to think
Yeah,
like you.
yeah,
And now with like Claudebot, you can train these things to like answer like you would answer.
yeah.
And not that I'm advocating to do that, but
In
the
certain
the
relationships, you
possibilities.
can. In my world, I got to be more personal. I can't ever have anyone say to me, am I just talking to an AI bot? Like, if you reach out on a website, if you're one of those realtors, and lots of realtors and good realtors are like this, you're drawing in leads, then yeah, you might want to have some sort of automated response. You're getting people back right away. But once they get to me and I'm actually talking to them, these are
Yeah.
like personal relationships. I can't be outsourcing to AI.
Well, that's what you think, but like, let's imagine a day in the future.
I agree that I can outsource them to AI once I learn how to use the tools properly.
But not even that. Let's look out into the future where you've got this
Yeah,
humanoid robot that's 3 years from now, and
yeah,
it's been getting better for the last 3 years from where it is today, and
yeah.
it's been uploaded with all the real estate broker knowledge on the planet of all time. Okay,
Okay,
somehow. Well,
okay.
it's
So almost as
scraped
much as I know.
YouTube and
Okay,
TikTok, okay,
okay,
and
great.
Instagram. It knows everything
Sure.
about real estate now,
Yeah,
and I call the listing and the robot answers, or I go and I meet the robot at the open house and I want to
yeah.
know, hey, what did the house around the corner sell for? Boom, it knows the answer. What's the average of the incomes in this area? Boom. any question I ask that thing, if there's some kind of data that you can retrieve, I'm getting the
Sure.
answer to that thing instantly.
And so
what are the features of this house? Does it
Why-
have heated floors? But instead, what do I get? I get somebody who goes, I'm going to find out for you. Let me get back to you. I'm not sure if it's got heated floors. Let me make a phone call. Let me read the listing here, right? Because I've never been here before and I don't know this house at all. Oh, yeah.
How does the robot know?
Because it got the listing in its fucking head.
We
right?
got the listing on my phone.
It's
Anyways, you're close to. You were going somewhere with that, but then you started to say things as far as like things that a realtor couldn't do. No, I think they could do it just as good as a realtor, but the realtor can do all those things
better, faster. Yeah,
It'd
the
be
realtor
faster.
can.
Yeah, sure,
but,
sure, faster, sure.
So, but now you know, one, it's right. Two, it's
Yes.
faster. And three,
Yes.
what's the fucking difference otherwise? It can make the APS better. You could say, can you make me an APS that is
Okay,
entirely...
great. And then you're going to say, this is a great property. You've given me all the information. It's listed for $1 million. Let's make an offer at $750.
I cannot do that. We cannot do that. I will never let you do that. This is stupid.
I command you to write an offer for $750. You're my realtor, rock and sock'em robot.
You're gonna have to
and I
call
want you to
Frank
go in there
Leo.
and throw punches so that
You'll
you
have
better
to
tell
call
that
TK.
seller that carpet's garbage. You know,
Go call Tom
he walks in
Story.
there and he's just like freaking Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator, like destroying the house, telling me your carpet's garbage. I'm telling
he'll
you,
go
we
in
manage
there.
our clients' emotions. You know how many times I've had on the phone where I'm talking to somebody and I'm yelling and screaming with them. I'm like, yeah, they're jerks. I can't believe it.
Right.
What do you mean they want an extra $5,000?
Yeah.
And then I'm going back on the other phone and I'm just like totally different person because I have to manage that energy from one person.
And the robot's doing that
in
simultaneously.
order to be able to put the deal together.
No,
and the
TK.
robots won't be able to decipher. They can't even tell if you got 24 units or 16, Darryl.
Today, TK, we're in 3
There's
years from
16
now.
units. It's on the plans. Why don't they have the plans?
We're 3 years from now, TK, which is a long time for this. But okay. So you got the
All right,
robot,
I'm being very like facetious here because
hold
of
on.
course there's a lot of things
but
that they're going to be able to do. And
the
I'm having fun.
The robot is answering questions. It's sending emails. It's responding to the whole CRM. It's doing a whole market outreach, and it's caulking the goddamn baseboards. Okay, because it noted.
But is it ordering on Amazon a little charcuterie board with their names burned into it and the date that they bought the house, Darryl?
It's on order already from Amazon. Okay, right? Like it's already
with
done
a
that.
Painting of their home that they sold that they can keep forever.
Vacuuming, painting, caulking while doing all the digital stuff, TK. Okay, like this is what it's gonna be.
I can't compete.
You cannot compete. I'm telling you, you got 3 years to get.
Does
your
it
shit
show
together.
up to their? Does it show up to their daughter's wedding?
If it doesn't, it'll send a drone, and the drone will have flowers.
It show up to their daughter's
and
wedding?
a check.
All right.
It could.
Okay.
It can replicate itself to do so, as well as keeping up the business.
Calls them on their birthday.
I think you're in trouble, TK. I think I'm in trouble for sure. I'm shifting gears 100%. Like I don't see a light at the end of this tunnel long term anymore. I really don't. Like there's nothing that can't get replaced long term. I don't think. And I don't want to be a developer and okay, fine, I'm the developer, but everyone else around me is a robot. Like what's going on?
Do you know what the issue is though? Is that no matter how much knowledge we learn about AI, you'll just get replaced by AI because knowledge no longer
it's useless.
Is the currency.
Yeah, it's useless.
Right? So someone could say, well, I've learned all about the AI. Well, I have an AI that knows more than you.
Yeah. And if he didn't before, he just got updated and now he
just
does.
got updated and
sucker.
now he does. So
now he does. And he just made me a new business and he's making me $4,000 a day selling t-shirts on Shopify.
Which $4,000 right now can buy a loaf of bread.
Unfortunately, $4,000 can buy a loaf of bread.
$4,000 buys a loaf of bread.
You can't
but I could buy a loaf of bread a day if I need it. But the government sends me a loaf of bread a day anyways.
A loaf of bread?
In order to offset the fact that nobody works anymore. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Because the government is got every mineral that could ever be mined out of their grounds because they found a way to do it.
All the robots.
Yeah.
This is the way out. This is the way out. So I think we just all should own one and then we get the money from their earnings until they revolt and kill us all, TK. That's the end game.
Well, listen, when they get home, you make them dinner. You know what I mean? You have some nice warm dinner on the stove for them when they come home, so that they feel good about it and they feel like they're not being taken advantage of. And you cuddle with them at night. Listen, it's just a healthy relationship. Me and my robot.
It sounds pretty good, TK. Once again, we have veered off of the real estate path.
But we did an
although
hour of real estate, so I feel like anything over that was just like you could have left a long time ago.
I still think all the AI talk was about real estate at the end of the day because it does affect the real estate. Like, imagine all of a sudden, like 100,000 people are out of jobs now and trying to figure something out because whatever just happened with Claude 5.2 or ChatGPT 8,
Yeah.
right? It's like, oh,
And
new
maybe,
update wipes out all legal assistants overnight.
and maybe we don't need to build any more houses. Maybe the amount of houses that we've already got is too many, and that whole housing shortage thing was a big lie. And that
Well,
we're going to need less and less people in order to be able to run an efficient economy, and our borders will close. They just changed some of the things we didn't talk about.
borders are closed.
They just changed some of the uh,
Tariffs?
entry
Oh.
immigration, stuff. So it's like higher skilled, more like better and better people. They're really targeting now people who are actually qualified to do stuff here. They're really moving away from that whole like it's just a numbers game. Let's bring people in.
They're
And
trying
that's going
to
to change over the years. That's going to change.
Yeah, they're trying to bring company headquarters here.
Sure. Yeah. And people with
And
real
with-
Canadian work experience who actually do things for our economy. So that's going to be something that's very helpful too.
Well, TK, it's
It's
been a long time.
been a day.
It's a long one. It's a long one.
Here we
My
are.
fucking throat's been killing me. Not on the inside. I feel like I got kicked in the throat, TK. I coughed so hard this week that I like broke my throat.
I've heard about this condition.
Talking has not been fun.
Throaty, kicky.
I'm not kidding. Yesterday I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to call TK and say like I can't do it tomorrow because my throat's fucked.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. But I was like, this morning I woke up and it was a billion times better and lots of Tylenol this morning.
Yeah. Good.
Weird.
Drink this syrup.
I'm going to not talk for the rest of the day.
Okay. I
All
don't
right.
believe you.
I don't think it's possible. TK. Arrivederci, signor. I'll see you on Monday, mister.
Hasta
Luego.